welcome to the most horse-powerful podcast on the internet, the Xbox Drive. Before we get this show on the road, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring that bell on YouTube, and leave a 5-star rating or review on your podcatcher of choice. If you want to continue the conversation after the show, make sure you join the Carpool Gaming Discord. For exclusive content and all the Carpool shows in one simple feed, head over to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Finally, head over to carpoolgaming.com for all of your merch needs. Now, with all that out of the way, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's time for the Xbox Drive.
No power greater than X.
Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri, and welcome to this week's episode of the Xbox Drive, where I am joined by the one and the only one, Mitch. Power your dreams, power.
That's
What's going
me.
on, Mitch?
That's crazy. That's just me. It feels light today, though.
You feel light?
No, I don't feel light. The show feels light. I feel like
The
there's
show
two
feels
other-
great. The show feels, look, I just finished mowing the lawn outside, taking care of some yard work. I did not watch any silly YouTube videos just before the show, and it should look, I just want to give a warning to people right now. Like, it's just the me and Mitch show. It's going to go off the rails. We both played Senua Saga: Hellblade 2, and we have lost Bowser and Fee. We don't know where they are. We have no idea. We thought they were going to be here, but no clue.
You know,
Maybe they quit.
We went to the store with them, and then
Yep.
they got lost. And then we went on the intercom and was like, Bowser, Fee, anything? We gave it 5 seconds, and then we left. So
We left. We tried our best. We tried our best.
I went, Fee! Nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nothing.
so hopefully they're okay.
They'll make their way home eventually, I hope.
I hope so. But for real, Fiona did not play Senua Saga, so
We told her to go away.
she's just
We
not
said,
here.
you can't play not 2 games 2 weeks in a row. You get out of here.
I did not say that. Just heavily implied. Just heavily implied. And Bowser's traveling. Bowser is traveling. So safe travels to Bowser. Want to welcome everybody on in who's watching us live here at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. Want to thank everybody who supports us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. And man, what a week. Do you want to just jump right into the housekeeping? Is it a burly man this week, or is it there she is, just a sweet housekeeping lady. I appreciate you, sweet housekeeping lady.
Housekeeping.
Just like I appreciate Samuel Nessling for joining up at the gold member tier at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, our only Austin Powers themed tier. I don't know how that happened, Mitch, but that's what we wanted to do.
I have a cousin named Austin. I wish I was
Austin Power? No,
Yes.
you don't.
I do. I legit do.
Austin
Swear to God,
Power.
on my children's, yes. So
How did this
I
not
want to be
come
clear.
up yet?
I want to be clear. He was named prior to the movies coming out. Poor kid. Poor
That
kid.
sucks.
It sucks so bad. And of
Yeah.
course, there's no S on the end of my name, right? I just want to point that out. I'm not Powers. Power. Legal
Close.
last
That's
name.
pretty damn close.
It's pretty damn close, right? But yeah, that poor bastard, man. Like, I just feel so bad for him.
I feel bad
'cause
for
again,
anybody. Yeah, I mean, what if your name was Harry or Karen? You know, like all these things. It's not their fault.
What if I told you that my dad's name was Harry?
Well, if you're an adult, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's the
he was a
kid's
grown
named
man.
Harry. Yeah, that's okay.
true. Yeah. Man, there's some names you get picked on in school. Poor kids. Poor kids.
Well, people who have great names. Ron from the PlayStation Drive. I want to give a shout out to Ron because Samuel, as I was thanking him for supporting us at Patreon, he messages back and goes, just want to give a quick shout out to Ron from the PlayStation Drive. He's my favorite, and the guy is hilarious. So that's amazing. That is so cool. I love that.
Good job,
Everybody,
Ron.
tell us who your favorite is at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Pick your favorites. Let's see what happens.
Give somebody
here.
a bigger ego at Carpool. Please do it.
Yes. And for everybody who supports us over there at the exclusive tier plus, tons of content for you, including Ryan Turford, who will be on the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast. That is our weekly AMA, Ask Me Anything. Ryan will tell you all sorts of strange stuff, I'm sure, this coming week. As he joined me, by the way, on our review, discussion, and spoiler cast for Senua Saga: Hellblade 2. It was fun hanging out with Ryan. That was all on the feed. Tons of content for you guys this week. Next week will be Ron and me having a chin wag. We sat down and got to know one another. Mostly, I got to know him. Some secrets. And also, Mitch, one last thing I'll tell you about the Nintendo Drive post show. I don't know if you've listened to it just yet. wild places, man. Absolutely. What we talked about, Terry Fox, who was like this amputee cancer survivor who ran across Canada, very impressive man. And then Lockleth brought up Forrest Gump in relation to that, so that happened. Then we talked about how bad smoking is for you, and then we missed the days of smoking. So go please enjoy the Nintendo Drive Po. If you think this show is weird, guys, like Nintendo Drive Po show is something else, man.
You guys are driving down the road and just skirt, just off the road, off the rails.
Dude. Shout out to Miguel in the chat. Says, "Hey Sean, love you, man. It's a me, Miguel. Love you, Miguel." Everybody should be shouting out your favorites over here. Boost our egos. People have been mean to me on YouTube this week, but don't care. Thanks for the views. I'm an X-bot, man.
How dare you? How dare you like anything to do with Xbox?
Yeah,
How
I'm
dare
a total
you?
sellout,
shill.
man.
You shill.
Total sellout. Yeah.
How much did they pay you for that masterpiece review, Sean?
Not enough. I think YouTube
Not
paid
enough
us
to
about
deal with those comments,
$2.10,
yeah.
so there's that.
Right? Not enough to deal with that engagement.
Yeah, good thing I
Lord.
sold my soul for 1,900 views on YouTube, dude. Yeah.
Also, I want to point out something. Good for you on the views, right? Obviously, screw all those people that are being stupid. And stuff,
Oh yeah,
'cause people on YouTube
feed
are
the
dumb, right?
algorithm.
Yeah, I
Thank
was
you.
gonna say though, real talk though, bad comment, like it, feed into it, just
It's all the same.
Lean a little into it, just a little.
I'm
not too
responding to
toxic.
dude. I'm responding to every single one. And by
You
the
did.
way, there may be people here watching this. It's very possible. We had a bunch of new subscribers coming on in, so not everybody hated the review. And I appreciate those who left kind comments. I appreciate every comment because it helps. Oddly
Right.
enough, but some people actually played the game, had some nice things to say. Like it was the people who didn't play the game who came in being real mean. So
Oh, you mean the
it's
ones
easy
that
to spot.
smash Metacritic reviews because it's a different platform and not their blue platform?
Pretty much.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Also, if you're subscribed because you hate watch us, hi. Thanks for the
Hi.
view.
Yeah.
Go
Appreciate
somewhere.
you. Hmm.
Yeah.
Just
Go
don't come into the Discord. You can stay on YouTube. That's fine. Just stay the hell out of the Discord. Only nice
Yeah,
people
but-
in there.
Yeah, keep your toxicity here, not where people actually have fun.
Yeah.
You
Asshats
bot.
don't last long in the Discord.
No,
it
they
happens
don't.
every once in a while.
They
Like
get
they
sniffed
come,
out.
they kind of see. Yeah, it's not their place.
Especially, never mind. I was going to say
Yeah.
something, but I'm not going to because I'm not going to be toxic. Let's go.
Mhm.
We're going to be positive on this show today, Sean, because
I'm
enough
here.
people were being toxic.
I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
I think that's. Oh, the other thing I want to say while we're talking about housekeeping. Apparently, we're still in the housekeeping section.
That's right. Go ahead.
Guys, everybody who supports us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, it helps us get to Extra Life. We got a travel assistance fund. We're going to make sure that everybody who can possibly get there, we're going to get our carpool gaming hosts there. We got to get equipment and tech and in-person events. We got a hotel conference room that we're going to be in and hosting some extra curricular activities. And we need couches also, unrelated to the extracurricular activities. We also need couches to sit on and to play the games. So thank you guys for supporting us there. It makes the dream come true. Extra Life is coming up. We're like 5 or 6 months away. Very, very close. And that's the end of housekeeping. That is truly the end. Mitch, how you doing, buddy?
It was a rough week.
Oh,
but
no.
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Who do we have to go
dude,
after?
Almost got fired from work.
No.
Oh yeah. I said.
Oh, yeah.
I had to snap on somebody. It was bad. We're fine. We're good.
I'm sure
Don't
that
worry
always
about
goes well. Oh, really?
Yeah. No, just people that just need to stop talking when they shouldn't be talking about certain things.
Like
Just
you
say that
or
so I
the
don't
other
get fired.
people?
No, not me.
Oh.
I don't open my mouth. I show up and I work.
I'll
and
bet.
I mind myself because yeah, I don't want to. There's certain things at work. Like for example, I have been streaming for years and I never mentioned it at work
Going full time.
because I don't want people at work to see me online because
Yeah.
they see a certain Mitch at work and they're going to see a whole different Mitch when it comes to streaming. So yeah, like I try to keep to myself at work. I try to just show up. I'll give you my full attention from this time to this time. As soon as I clock out, don't talk to me, anybody from work, please.
Yeah,
Don't.
I'm
I
out of
gotta
here.
Talk to you. Yeah. My example, my boss sent me some Facebook thing on a Saturday, right? And then Monday, he was like, "Hey, Mitch, I was kind of sad that you didn't respond to my Facebook thing I sent you on Saturday." To which I responded, "Stay sad, dog. I don't respond to you on weekends."
Damn. Was it a work related thing?
Absolutely not. No, it wasn't, dude. No.
He was just messaging you, just trying to.
He was like, "Hey,
buddy
I
up.
thought this was cool." I'm like, I'll check it out on Monday when I get paid to talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
I think that's an important boundary to establish.
Oh yeah, I made that so clear when I started this new role. I was like, hey guys, they're like, oh, we like to talk on the weekends. I'm like, I don't. I like to do my own thing. So yeah. And then they asked, what's your thing you do? And then that was the weird thing during my charity stream when my boss showed up. I was like,
man, what's with these bosses that's a line that they're crossing.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that was cool, and I'm very thankful.
I mean, this is a cool guy, totally cool person.
He's a nice guy. I'm not crapping on him. He is a nice guy, but I've just set that boundary. Like, hey, my off work stuff is very much my stuff, and I don't like to do that. But my boss showed up to my charity stream, and I was like, oh great, my boss is here. Now this can go two different ways. Either A, my community is going to flame me in front of my boss. But thankfully, my charity stream, my community was nice, and they literally made up the most wildest accusations of things I've done. Like, oh my God, Mitch's boss is here. Were you there when he saved that baby from that burning car fire? And they just made up wild things that like made me look so awesome. And one of my friends was like, man, I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have done the exact opposite.
Damn.
I would have just went way south with things you've done. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad you weren't there. But no, it's just
okay. Well, I'm glad you still have a job.
I do have a job. Yeah. But no, I still played Hellblade 2.
Yeah, you did.
I did that. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Played a little bit of COD because the battle pass is over for that in like 4 days. So I got to get that beat.
Like Senna's watch, like it's in a moment.
100%. But no, yeah, like I mean, like I said, it was a little stressful week, but we're good.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. PVO, we're all good.
Well, you got the streaming thing. You got Twitch and Mixer.com/mixpower.
Yeah, of course.
Mixpower 11.
If you go there, it takes you to Facebook. I'm not streaming to Facebook. Oh. Don't do that.
Yeah. Oh wow, forgot about that.
I also got my cool new piece of tech, which I'm currently using right now, which is probably like, why is Mitch looking directly at this camera while he's talking to me? I got myself an Elgato prompter.
That's amazing.
Which is real cool. I can't lie. I'm using it to do Twitch chat, but I'm looking straight at the camera. Just like I have currently right now, this video call on the little prompter here.
That's
so I'm currently
so cool.
Looking right at Sean, talking straight
into my
to my
soul.
buddy.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Yep.
You won't like it in there. I don't think so.
I can't speak for experience. What about you, Sean? Did you almost get fired from work? That link might not work. I don't know. Like, you know what? Why don't we find out what
Seth in the chat shares Mixer.com/MitchPower1116. Look, I am getting kind of like nostalgic thinking about Mixer in a weird way. Like I remember talking about it on this show years ago. We've been doing the show for so many years at this point. And it's like, man, Mixer with that instantaneous, like no lag, no latency, just like instant chat. That was magic. That was incredible. They had all these like great features on Mixer. And then they like, what happened, man? Like they could have just outweighted Twitch. Twitch will go down in a burning fire, I'm sure. I hope not.
30 years from now, maybe. Sure. No,
hopefully. By the way, follow us at twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. We'll be streaming
shameless
there
plug,
shortly.
Shameless plug. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
But Mixer was great.
You know what's funny is like I did like Mixer a lot. There were some cool things. I cannot. I'm dying right now because I do not remember this feature that they had. There was a channel that, especially for like BR games, it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Where basically there was a channel that would jump between different people that were at the end of their game.
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
I don't remember the name of it. I'm blanking so hard on it. But basically it was
like Red Zone. It's like NFL Red Zone.
It was exactly like Red Zone for battle royales, and it was amazing.
That's so cool.
And it was also more amazing when you got featured on it. So like they'd show up and they'd be like, "Hey dude, you have 800 people watching, you win this game."
Was it like a hype zone or something like that? Was it
hype? Yeah, I think it might have been Hype Zone. That actually might have been legit the name of it. But
because
it was
when Luke and I were at FanFest in LA, they had like a Mixer spot and they were playing Apex at the time. And I made it to like the final 5 or whatever of that run. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was featured. Like the guy came like right up to me with like his camera and my gameplay was there. I got super nervous because I'm like, everybody's watching. And I clearly don't. Yeah, the Hype Zone. Seth into chat. Fact checker for us. Hype Zone. I was on the Hype Zone. And I don't think Luke was all that impressed because he loved Apex, dude. Like he should have been. All truth be told, it really should have been him in the Hype Zone. It absolutely shouldn't have been me. But sometimes that's the way my life goes, just
the way
the golden child. Yep. Just things kind of work out for me sometimes.
That's one thing I wish literally that Twitch had any option to do. Because the problem is like technically you can raid people, but then you can't take that raid again somewhere else, right? You can't just take your people with you channel to channel.
Right.
And I just
checking
thought
things out.
Just checking things out. And it was cool because like if they showed up to you and you got a win, people would start to follow you and like, oh, hey, cool, good job.
Totally.
And they follow you and shit. And I was just like, man, that is so awesome. And that's one thing they never had. They also had proper co-streaming, which I do miss quite a bit.
Yeah.
Actual
See, that's what the internet needs to be
co-streaming.
yelling about. We don't need to be yelling about tech demos and 5-hour games and whatever else. We need to be yelling about Twitch doing the stuff that Mixer had locked down however many years ago.
Twitch has a thing now, similar, not as good.
Not good enough.
Not as good. Not as good. And also the fast instant streaming, like instant.
Oh yeah, it really was high quality.
Crazy.
I just never really liked wasn't it Beam before?
Yes.
Beam.com/MitchPower 1116. You had a blue screen back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had it wrapped around your chair, didn't it?
Yeah.
Come so far. Look at you.
Dude, oh my God. If you saw the OG stream setup,
I remember it.
I had a coffee table sitting in front of my couch.
Yep.
Playing on my TV. I had a pop-up green screen that went behind me.
Yep.
And now I have 4 monitors, 3 lights, a teleprompter, 2 green screens.
The power drain, like Mitch's house is glowing and his neighbors are in the dark.
My wife literally like looks this direction and just rolls her eyes constantly. She's like, what are you doing now?
You're a grown man. You do what you want.
Yeah. I could do this or do other things with my money, dumb things with my money, but I just do this.
Like investments and savings.
Exactly. No,
damn boring.
Like teleprompters.
Did you play anything else? Did you play anything this week? You got Call of Duty season something?
Literally I play Call of Duty and Hellblade. And that was it. Yeah.
Nagachaka in the Discord asked us, question for Sean, and I'll add Mitch. I've heard from your review that people say people should play Hellblade 1 before playing the second game. Would you say Hellblade 1 and 2 are one full experience? And why is the answer yes? I failed to make that into the review. I had it in my notes, and for whatever reason, I somehow missed it. Yes. Hellblade 1 and 2, Mitch. Do you agree? One full experience, my friend. I
do. However, no, here's the thing. Is like honestly the way that 1 ended, it could have been it.
Okay.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not like all of this from the first one carried into the second one. In my opinion, if you really did just play, you should play both, because realistically, you could play and beat both in like 12 to 15 hours. You should just play both. Seriously, because it's like, what would have been awesome about Hellblade 1? More Hellblade. Okay, well, here's Hellblade 2.
Yep.
There you go. So I think it should be one experience as far as just play both, because they're not that long. Yeah. And it is fun for both. That leap to the second one visually, boy, oh boy. Yeah. Like, because me and you went straight back to back, right? We went from Hellblade straight right into 2, and good God, is that game gorgeous. Oh my God.
Yeah, because I'd almost want to go back and play like them both together again. Mm-hmm. Because like I feel in my head that 1 is still very, very good looking. Like I would still tell you, I think it's a gorgeous game. But after playing this one, I think I might go back to the first one and go like, ooh, it's not as good as I remember, which is not a knock against it. It's just how amazing Hellblade. I almost said Halo. Shout out to Halo 2, Hellblade 2.
We did it right. We literally went straight from 1 straight to 2, that's the reason why I say that experience is like, that's the reason why I say it's a whole experience. Honestly, story-wise, they have a recap at the beginning that you can watch, and they do a solid job of recapping, by the way. Won't knock that. But I mean, you absolutely should still play both, because both combined it's not that bad. It's not like the first one's 50 hours, right?
It's not a big lift. Yeah, it's not like
not.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it definitely should be one experience, just for the fact that both games are great. But that jump is awesome, dude.
I mean, you're big into tech and visuals and everything like this. Like, what were your thoughts going through this game? You fire it up and she's on this dark, rainy beach, and rocks are sharp and everything is awful and it looks incredible.
It's the best looking game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what got me flat out, and I was just like, oh my gosh, the facial expressions in fights.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. They're full and it's such clear, detailed, perfect emotes when they're fighting. Like their facial expressions change when they're getting hit. They like, oh, like you can see all that, and you're like, holy crap, man. Look at this game.
Yeah,
Like,
just saturated with production quality. You know, it's kind of the way that I think about it. It's not like you can look around the corner or off into the distance and kind of spot, ooh, that's a little soft or whatever. It's every inch of skin detail, all the hair, all the animation looks really great. Ryan and I didn't really get into this, and I didn't really like think to talk about it too much in my review. I had a very special experience with it, but I think we can kind of like break it down into a different kind of element here. Like, I actually really enjoyed the combat because it was so visceral, and the way the swords kind of clanged against each other, and then especially just chopping people up, man. Like, aside from actually like lopping off limbs, it was pretty vicious, dude.
It is absolutely like it's one of those like, oh, like I'd say I did that noise a couple times when you do some of those finishing kills. You're like, holy crap. Like,
yeah, man.
Oh man. The only thing I'll say personally about the combat is I kind of liked Hellblade 1's combat for the multiple people that could hit you at any point in time.
Oh
I felt like because this game was only one-on-one.
It really was.
So like I like the fact when voices were like behind you. Like, and like you would have, so like it felt like the difficulty of the combat in 1 was harder, which I appreciate. I'm not saying it has to be easy, because even these combats weren't like, it wasn't easy. Some of these enemies you fought weren't necessarily easy.
Yeah.
But like the multiple enemies, I was like, I kind of like this better until after the way that they transition from one kill to another is incredible.
It really is. Yeah, it's sort of like a cinematic moment in between enemies, like especially if you're around other characters who may be with you in that little battle. It's like, oh, you either save them or they duck you out of the way. Somebody gets a tomahawk axe to the face. Like, holy crap.
We won't go into spoilers, but that one fight where you have kind of everybody with you and everything that's going on around you in between fighting the enemies. Like, again, it's all like just those, I'm not going to say cutscenes because they're not, because the game itself, like I said, visually, it's almost impossible to tell what's a cutscene.
Just slides in between.
It slides in between visually. There's zero difference, like zero. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like the way out of like, you fight this guy and then out of nowhere, this dude just hits you in the face and you're like, okay. It's just the way they choreographed all the combat. Cause like the combat between you and the enemy is kind of, you know, standard light, heavy attack, parry, evade.
I think the most variety kind of came in with the different enemies, because some I just couldn't really block any of their attacks at all. So I kind of had to change up my strategies to more of like a dodge or evade kind of thing. So I would like block, dodge, you know, block again, and then swing my attacks. Like that's really what the combat is all about. And that's as close to any sort of like Dark Souls comparison that you're really going to get, is that every enemy had an identifiable pattern. And even the voices would kind of tell you, like, you know what they're going to do now. Like they would kind of encourage you that way.
You're faster than him. You're not.
Yeah. Oh, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The like you said, the combat, I appreciate the combat in this because of how it smoothly went from one enemy to another. I wish you still could fight multiple people just for the trying to figure out, like, you know, who to hit.
I would have got my ass kicked, dude, if there was so many. I would have been. I mean, like, also, like, how do you even like target anybody? Like, I don't know that.
The first one, you could like use the right analog stick and jump between who you want. I just liked the kind of like, but also because of how tight the camera was in the first one, it's like
that's what I was going to bring up to you.
Somebody's behind you.
You mentioned that last week about the camera kind of getting a little janky in the first one, and I feel like sometimes you didn't know where to look. Maybe it just one enemy at a time kind of cleans that up, just focuses it. But it's a difference that I actually forgot between the two games. That it really is one at a time, but the trade-off is you kill one enemy and then there's usually some sort of moment that happens and then the next one kind of comes in. And I love that, man. Just made it really intense.
The thing I appreciate is it wasn't a canned transition between enemies.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
Well, like if you look,
it seemed organic.
Almost everyone had something different. Yeah. So it wasn't just like kill this enemy, see this same motion to the next enemy.
Right.
It was like you kill this, and this situation you're in is completely different to where this enemy hits you from somewhere else, or this. The way that they did the transitions were, I don't know if any of them repeated. I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
But it was so few that I didn't notice. I literally felt
agree.
like every one of them were different.
When I think about this game, and I don't love bringing up comparisons because people generally will misinterpret this. But this is a discussion, so it's a little easier to do than on the review, which was solo. And I didn't bring this up with Ryan, but for whatever reason, when I think about this game, I actually think about Inside from Playdead, like Limbo, the Limbo game. And the reason I think about that is like it's also a fairly short experience. But when I think about Inside, every frame of animation is like handcrafted. It's so meticulous and it's so intentional. It's not just, play out, like you said, canned animation for this. Like every death and every scenario that you're in and Inside has its own unique flavor and look, and there's different ways to die and all these kinds of things. I felt the same way about this game. And I like, that's again, just another, like, I think Inside is also in that masterpiece kind of category for me, as far as like a side scrolling, puzzle kind of game goes. Right. But yeah, I feel similarly about this one. The tight experience of it allowed every single frame, every square inch of this thing to be combed over with such polish. Like, that's why I love it, man. I think it was great to do that.
I don't, people who crap on the time, certain games, you don't want them to overstay their welcome. And
look at Alien Isolation, dude.
Right. Like,
too long.
There's yeah, some games are too long and some games are just perfect length, and some games, but like, in my opinion, if you are going to make it a shorter game, let's just say quotes. Yeah. Short. I mean, there's 2-hour games.
Dude, I did not play this in 5 hours, by the way. It took me longer.
I'll have to check stats. I think I want to say 6.5, maybe 7, something like that.
Which I know, 90-minute difference, but who cares? But
yeah. But like, for me though, is like, if you are not going to give me a 60-hour experience, if you're saying like, no, this is going to be 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever, then make it the craziest, most packed 6 hours you could think of.
Exactly.
And that's what they did. And like, they took all of like, again, the level of detail, that's what I was just in awe about. The level of detail in this game is, it's Unreal Engine 5. So, I mean, there are going to be more games that are going to eventually get here as far as the fidelity goes, but like, I'm like, everything about it. Again, it's not even just like little details, like the facial expressions, the weather effects, the water, when you do that thing where that thing does the draining and you see water moving. I'm not going to give you spoilers, but like, the way that you see water move in this game is the best I've ever, like, there's so many things that visually I was looking at this game going, this is the best ... I've ever seen.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, fill in the blank. It's crazy. It's so, the fire effects, the lighting, when you walk up into an area and there's like these booms of fire that are happening.
Yep.
You see the way that the environment lights around you. You see the shadows are perfect. Like, everything visually about this game is awesome. And again, like, do you necessarily want 20 hours, 30 hours of that? Sure. Yeah. I think, honestly, I don't think until GTA 6 happens is going to be a game that's that. Because visually, GTA 6 also looked insane.
I feel like it looked good for Grand Theft Auto. I don't know that I look at that and go, I don't think that that's in the same ballpark. As
I think visually, for what that game has and how we know how big that game is going to be, that's the grander scale, right? Like, visually, I think Hellblade is probably going to be a game that will not be beat visually for a while, in my opinion. Yeah. Just because of like, they didn't have this giant open world. They didn't have all these characters. They didn't have these things, but this tight story and just compressing all of this insane tech into this tight of a story is the reason why that game visually and everything. Do you think Ninja Theory's next game, this Project Mara, do you think they stay in this kind of 6 to 10 hour kind of time frame? Yeah. Yeah. Just stick with it. Do what they do. And like I said, I mean, I don't mind. Again, I personally don't need a 40-hour game because I don't have a lot of time to play games, right? Yeah. When I hear a game is 60 hours, I go, I don't want to play that. Because if I play that, I'm not going to play this, and this, and this, and this. I won't have time. Yeah. Yeah. So I get where some people like want value for their money. I want an 80-hour game. Like, I totally get that. And some people do get that. But the fact that it's a shorter game, and I don't mind, and like,
and it's on
before
Game
Hellblade,
Pass.
I mean, it being on Game Pass is like a perfect Game Pass game. I don't want to say that though, because like honestly, the game, you could pay $60, $70 for the game, and I still feel it's worth it.
But it's $50.
Oh, is it really? Just
Yeah,
50?
it's $49.99 USD.
Yeah, that's not even terrible. That's not terrible at all. But no, like I really do think the length of the game, I don't think is a problem, because if you tell a tight, good story. Now, if you gave me 6 hours of boring, totally get it. I just wasted 6 hours on some boring story. But when you pack what you packed in that game, it's totally worth it. I don't see.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I remember playing The Order 1886 well after everybody, destroyed that one. And I remember thinking, like, that is a shame that the narrative got so negative around 1886, because I actually enjoyed it. I played it from the library. Now, that's a different experience than others who paid full price day one, a lot of expectations. But similar kind of takeaway for me. I remember thinking that sucks that the internet just seems to rally around dogpiling all over this thing, and felt the same about Order 1886. I feel the same way about Hellblade 2. And the most weird part about it is you don't even have to go over to Order 1886 for a comparison. Hellblade 1, which we both just played last week, like, should tell us everything we need to know about what to expect from this game. Like, it was strange. I feel like there were so many years since Xbox revealed that. When they showed this, the Series X is going to be this thing, and here's Hellblade 2, it's coming. They had how many years to kind of get us settled into going, this team is 80 people strong, and the game length is going to be X, and this is kind of what you should be hoping for. But this might be the most inflammatory thing I say tonight, is I feel like Xbox was trying to cash in on that ambiguity. They were trying to cash in on, I hope people will buy an Xbox Series X, because they seem to be thinking that Hellblade 2 is God of War, which it isn't.
It's not. I'm not saying Hellblade can't be one of your like favorite Xbox franchises, like if you're say like an Xbox fan, like
I think I'm up there, man. I love it.
Right. You can say it is, but like, it's so weird because there's a lot of things that make me think like Xbox wanted this game to be that, but then not. Like,
but it isn't.
It's not. But like, it's just so weird because I almost want to feel like, and again, this is my tech nerd self speaking. If you want to show off why you have the most powerful console in the world, you would want to blast this game and be like real gameplay and just show something on a trailer and be like, look at how insane of a game of quality that we can make. And the leaving out like how long the game is, those things. I mean, again, it doesn't, those things right there, you can just visually, because people, again, they're visual people. They'll see graphics and just go, holy crap, I want to play that game. They don't know what the hell the game's about. They don't care at the same time to some people. I just feel like Xbox, when it came to like promoting the game, it didn't have a physical release. It didn't have a special edition. It was only digital.
No special edition is weird. No controller.
No console, no controller. I think if you're going to do no physical release overall, then at least give us a special edition.
Well, they don't come with a game anyway.
Right.
Give us a steelbook.
Yeah. Like, there's people out there that are like, I mean, I bought 2 of them.
They do that now.
I bought 2 of them, Sean.
That's ridiculous. I actually hate it, but I mean, that's how desperate I think we are for something.
Well, here's the other thing too, though. And in my opinion, though, I was fine because I have a digital only PS5 and I bought Horizon, the limited edition, the big mammoth statue and all that. Digital copy. Thank you, Sony. I don't have a disc drive I can use. Spider-Man 2, same thing. But it's weird that like there was no physical edition. There was no, and again, if you don't want to mass market a physical copy of it, totally get it. Yeah. But you're telling me there's not Hellblade super fans of the first one that would be like, I would pay you $200 for some awesome ass stuff from this game.
Yeah.
You absolutely
It's weird, man. It's going to be weird to kind of unpack this. Obviously, we've both played it. I do want to replay this with you get an additional narrators afterwards. I do want to clean up the collectibles. I'm still not done that. I'm not really ready to let go of this. But as the weeks go on, I'm very curious to know if we'll find out any like actual real numbers as far as how many players, like how many games, how many copies sold. There's not a lot of encouraging kind of stats out there. I don't think. And so then the conversations will just go in circles about, is it because of the game, how it was? Was it because it's a Game Pass game? Is it because there was no quote unquote no marketing for it? Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of raised questions, and I just kind of hope something that will never happen. They just kind of keep pushing forward. Like, they finally got us a game, they being Xbox. They launched a game that worked on day one. This is feature complete. You can play, in my opinion, I imagine you can play it now, and maybe they figure out a way to do a 60 frames per second mode in 6 months, but I don't think that's going to add anything to the experience.
That is literally the only complaint I had about the game, honestly. Like, and again, only because I just played Hellblade 1 in 60.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see this in 60. And it wasn't. And again, I'm not mad because, again, cinematic games like
Sound
this,
mad.
No, I'm not mad.
I'm just kidding. You don't sound mad.
Disappointed.
Oh no, that's way worse.
Hit him with that dad line. No, like the other thing too is I actually did download it on PC just to, because again, thank you Game Pass. I can play it on both. Also, save just carries seamlessly over. Good job.
I know.
Beautiful.
That's so nice. Yeah.
Good job, Xbox. I literally loaded up the PC version and it was just like, do you want to continue where you just left off? I'm like, God bless America. Anyways, it was it was the one thing I'll say though is like, even on PC, it was still lock 60.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, we can crank this thing all the way up if you want.
For the first one?
No. For the second one, for Hellblade 2, there's literally 60.
It wasn't locked.
It wasn't?
No, I was all over the place. I was all over the place. I played about one chapter on PC, Hellblade 2.
I mean, max was 60 is what I saw. I didn't see it go higher than 60.
Oh, I don't have a 4090 like this guy over here. I was just lucky to get up to like 59 and change. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was all over the DLSS, just trying to see what I could crank out there. And like from my whatever it's worth, I just didn't feel like I was missing out on anything by only being at 30.
I don't think I was missing out. I just, when there's an option on PC and not an option on Xbox, that's the only thing. Again, I'm not.
That's fair.
Just give me an option,
But would you rather the PC version only be 30 and you have a 4090 over there?
No. Like I want the PC version where it was at. It was fine, right? And I download, and all I did was literally just load it up just to see.
Totally. Yeah.
Right.
Same.
I didn't play the rest of the game on PC. I went right back to my Xbox.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I just want to see, is this like noticeably different to where I should play it here instead?
Yeah.
And yeah, the 60 was there. And I watched Digital Foundry. By the way, shout out to Digital Foundry. They make incredible videos.
Is it good? I almost didn't even want to watch the video.
It's so good. They explain Unreal Engine 5 in like crazy details, and they show you things and you're just like, oh my gosh. But they actually did show how the PC version, like parts of it were dipping from 60, even on like the craziest settings and the best stuff. Some stuff was dipping still. And they showed the console was rock solid 30. So, I mean,
yeah,
you can't beat rock solid steady performance and not dips.
I agree.
Even, and again, I wasn't mad, but I was like, an option, just at least give me an option if I want to break the graphics down a little to do this. That's totally fine.
See, that's what I could see. I could see them doing that in 3 months or something like that, or 6 months or something. They'll have a patch and going like, we heard you, here's 60, which kind of sucks because I'd almost rather teams just kind of dedicate, like make their choice and live by it. I'm torn on the Starfield thing. Like I'm probably will play it now that maps are there, but at the same time, and also though the different performance issues that they talked about at the beginning, I'd almost rather them not go back because I don't know what to trust anymore. Like what is possible? Is it just a time thing? You can give us a roadmap,
I really think it's just a time thing, to be honest. Like, I mean,
of course it is.
It's just resources. Like, yeah, they could easily make this happen. It's not a matter if they can. They're just choosing to take their time and do it with certain things, right?
Yeah, you got to hit a launch date. I get it.
Of course, yeah. And like I said, I mean, again, I was not upset at 30, but again, I just played Hellblade 1 in 60.
Yeah.
He wasn't mad. Okay.
Yeah, well, Hellblade 1 had the option, and I played at quality. So I did play at 30. So I went straight from 30 to 30. So I didn't actually really see a difference. Yeah. So Hellblade, man, I love it. I think it's great. I think people should play it.
I think people should play it. And also, like I said, it's not even like, it's like not this giant time commitment. It's literally an experience that you could do in a weekend. And you should. It's really good. Also, we didn't even talk about the audio and how it's incredible. Again,
it's just making me second guess myself at every turn.
Why? because you just hear these things in your head.
Just hear these voices in my head. I'm just going about my daily life, and I'm like, am I still hearing these voices? Like, are they in there? They're just lodged in there like an earworm or something.
The only thing that's weird, in my opinion, was sometimes during the cutscenes when other people were talking, I felt like the voices were like louder than Senua talking, and I'm like, shouldn't she be louder than the voices can still be in your head saying things, or maybe not.
Yeah.
But no, that was the only thing I found weird because they were doing cutscenes and I just heard the voices in my head. I'm like, is she even paying attention? It's like, is she paying attention? Because I can't right now. I'm like,
that's hilarious.
Is she paying attention to what they're saying right now?
You know, I have a whole bunch of gameplay footage, probably the entire game recorded actually for the review. And whenever I would want to, clip out 5-15 seconds or so for the review in between things that I was saying, I actually found it difficult to find things to share. I didn't want to spoil anything. And then also, like some of those moments are incomprehensible, because they're part of the experience. Mm-hmm. But as a cut from me talking about the game to here's a moment from the game, it didn't make any sense whatsoever. They kept interrupting each other, which is great for a gameplay experience. But yeah, watching a video, it's a bit of a mess.
For sure. And also, of course, if anybody who is going to play this, play with headphones. Do not play with speakers. Please.
Yeah.
You just have to. Like, there's no other. I would never, if I had to tell you one game to play with headphones ever, it'd be this. Like, you could have a surround sound system. And by the way, Digital Foundry talked about that, and they still said it sounds great on surround sound. Like a home theater setup, it still sounds great. But that very immersive experience of how well they did the audio with the voices that literally felt like they were here in the back of my head. Just the way they did the mixing was so good. And like the audio is so, that dad voice still. Oh
yeah. I didn't know if that's a spoiler or not to talk about, but there is a deep voice in Hellblade 2 that is,
it's a piercing, it sends shivers down my spine voice. Like, it's a voice
I was like, just keep talking. I was mad when he stopped talking.
No, I wasn't. I was like, oh, please stop talking.
Is there a repeat button? Can you say that again? Can I start that scene over? Please? That makes me feel a certain way.
No, dude, when that voice hit, I was like, oh, please.
No, it was nice. That. It was like a massage for your eardrums. Just
it was like a stabbing in the back of my head.
Yeah, it was nice. No, it was a nice. It was a loving touch of your inner ear. Just right in there. Just
no. The voices they were all like nice
those little like swirly tubes in your inner ear. It's like that. Just that voice reaches in there and gives a nice little stroke, man. Just
Sean Capri, a nice little stroke of your ears. Don't worry about it.
Not giving you a stroke. Just
clip it and ship it. So that voice got me.
It's nice.
Not in good shape, dude. I was like,
nice.
But no, everything like I said. Man. Do you?
I think I do. Yeah.
I'll see if he does a cameo and get one for your birthday. How about that?
Oh, please. Best birthday present ever. Holy.
Just
that'd be nice. Mm-hmm. Just sing me happy birthday nice and slow.
Good Lord, man. Sean, I'd be like, can you sing happy birthday for my buddy Sean? He'd be like, that's the weirdest experience I've ever had. I'm like,
do it slower.
Yeah, do it slower. More gravelly. Good Lord. No, that voice was something that was like,
Fee and Bowser are never coming back. So welcome to the new era, new chapter of the Xbox Drive, y'all. It's me and Mitch.
Yeah,
Mitch, power your dreams.
Weird things.
Yeah, it's super good.
No, I love for real though, you should absolutely. Anybody who's playing this again, if you have Game Pass, there's literally no excuse.
Yeah,
none. Please just go play.
Yeah, what else are you playing? What else are you doing with your life?
NHL? Nah.
That sounds like fun.
Sean's like, you know what? Actually, a couple games of NHL sounds great.
Look, why don't we get Gravelly Voice Man to do all the play-by-play in every single EA Sports game, or just do the EA? Like we got a new EA Sports guy. Like it's in the game. He can do that. Yeah.
Have you seen the content creator Corpse Husband?
God, what? That sounds awful.
No. Anybody who's watching chat right now, if you know who that person is, you're gonna love his voice. Let's just say that.
Oh, okay. Oh,
no. It's the I might get Corpse Husband and see if he has a cameo. It's very similar to that dude's voice that we're talking about, except for it's actually his. Yep, Lockwood knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Sean, I just ruined. No. I made Sean's night.
Yeah,
You're
I think you
welcome,
did.
Sean.
Yeah.
Sean was
might
asking
have ruined
about
my marriage, but
No. Stop. Not doing that. Mitch Power 1116 did not ruin Sean's marriage. Make sure you clip that as well in the show. Make sure you clip that and ship
this
it.
is so stupid. This is so dumb.
Lockwood said Mitch isn't ready for this, honestly. Lockwood, I just want to point out, this is what Sean's been wanting for years. I'm just saying. Sean was waiting for the opportunity to have me on a show and waiting for an opportunity for the other two people to magically go do something else for the Friday. I'm just saying.
Here, man. Well, look, one of the first times you and I, we did We the Gamercast at one point, but then also you've been part of Xbox predictions. And we've got an Xbox showcase coming up, which we'll get to eventually here. But that's the history here, man. Mitch came on board. There's one prediction. I don't remember anything, period. But I especially don't remember people's predictions. But you predicted one time that a thing that I still want to have happen, which was like streaming from your PC to your Xbox. I still want that to happen. And we haven't got it yet, obviously. But, Phil talking about Steam on Xbox and stuff, I think that would be pretty great,
That would be pretty great, yeah.
Because you can stream your Xbox to your PC and through cloud and everything, but the other way.
I mean, they have the Steam Link. That's a thing.
That's what it is. Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's it. A device that hooks up to your TV that allows this to be streamed there.
Yeah.
You're telling me it works one way, but you couldn't do it the other way? You probably could.
Yeah.
And again, that could sell Xboxes. That could sell Xboxes. Hey, you got this awesome gaming computer in there. You want to stream it upstairs locally. Super good fidelity.
Sometimes we want it to go both ways, Mitch.
He said it, not me. No, there's a lot of things I think about when it comes to Xbox. And
so glad you're here, man.
Yeah. That's the reason why you asked me to be on this show and not the PlayStation Drive or Nintendo Drive.
I actually don't know that I don't think that I knew that you had a PlayStation. Until today.
I want to be clear. I'm not some Xbox shill like this guy.
Yeah, it's me.
PS5, Nintendo Switch, PC. I have it all.
Mm-hmm.
But do I play Xbox all the time? Yes, I do. 100%.
Yeah, I wasn't just on the Nintendo
Yes,
Drive last night talking all about my favorite times with the Nintendo 3DS. Yeah, Xbox over here. Definitely, that's me.
Did you clip everything and send it in those comments? Like,
I would
go
love
watch
to.
this.
I would love to. Yeah. The years of if we ran Nintendo. Yeah, that's Xbox. Yeah. That's me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. All this Zelda stuff right over my head. Like Mario's over here, Amiibo's over here. Like
the problem is, Sean, you had the green screen.
Green screen was covering
all your stuff.
Yeah.
Now, here's the worst part. If I showed up and did an Xbox review with this behind me, that'd be like,
yeah,
either that's fake or you actually are a Microsoft employee. So
whatever, it's all good.
I'm looking at this background, right, and I'm just thinking about the controllers. And Hellblade 2, you're telling me you couldn't have done like a custom labs?
Yeah, you couldn't maybe pause production on another camouflage pattern and give us a damn Hellblade controller.
So the last Xbox game one was Starfield, right?
Yep.
That was
I think so. Yeah, had to have been.
Yeah.
That was the last release that they did.
That?
Maybe Forza Horizon 5?
Had to have been. Yeah.
Which was a while back because they didn't do one for Motorsport.
They have the custom labs one for Fallout, and that's what I'm saying. It's almost like just custom labs it.
Oh, I think that might have been it. I think they did do that. I think they do have a custom labs for Hellblade, like a design labs.
No way, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, if they have a design labs for Hellblade, then I'll shut up. Because honestly, at least if you gave us that to again just give people an option. Can I just make a Hellblade controller, please? That'd be cool.
Yeah, this is a thing. Actually, I'll try to bring it up here on the stream. Which I think Donnie Reese actually tagged me in this. So shout out to Donnie. Otherwise, I probably would have missed it. And I can't decide if. Well, I think I can decide. I don't think I was gonna say I can't decide if I like it or not, but I don't love it. I mean, it's nice. It's just it's colors. It's black and kind of red.
But it's not an actual, all they did was use design labs to make a color scheme. They didn't actually, it's not like a custom design though. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We need like a logo on there, all that kind of stuff.
You're telling me again, they can't just make a faceplate and make it an option for design labs? It just seems weird. Oh, you're going straight to the design. That's just a color scheme.
That's all this is.
That's lame.
We have that for the Xbox. We have that for the Xbox Drive. We have an Xbox Drive controller.
Right. If you want to just make a color scheme, go
That's
for
all we
it.
did. It's the exact same thing.
See? That's
Look
just
at that.
weird, man.
We already did
Yeah.
this, Xbox. Come on. We're just a podcast from
Like,
Canada.
do you
We already
like,
did this.
but like, see, for example, how they have the Fallout one there? You're telling me
Yeah.
you can't just do that for Hellblade? Just a
Yeah, you're
faceplate.
right. Look at that.
Give me a faceplate.
Okay, can we just
That's
do
all
Oh,
that
that's
is.
all that
It's-
is. It's still the same. The rest of it is still the
Everything
same.
else is the same. It's just a Fallout faceplate. You're telling me you
Oh,
couldn't do a
wow.
Hellblade one? Come on.
Oh, it's kind of Oh, do I need a Fallout controller now?
The one episode that we talk about Fallout stuff and Fee's not here, right?
I
Right?
know.
Right?
Oh, am I going back to Fallout? Dude, what do you think about we're going to get into predictions eventually next week, I think.
Yeah.
But like Fallout, guys, like Fallout 3 could be happening. This remaster
wouldn't put it
heavily
past
rumored,
them.
man.
Wouldn't put it past them.
That would be real good.
I mean, Fortnite's in Fallout's in Fortnite right now. So season just came out 2 days ago, I want to say. So yeah, you can go do power armor stuff in Fortnite. I haven't played it yet. Whatever.
Yeah.
it's the only thing that's gonna get Fee to play it. Although I still don't think Fee will play it because it's she got. I feel bad for Fee, by the way. I do want to point this
Aw.
out.
She hasn't made it this far into the episode. She checked out 45 minutes
She
ago.
heard we replaced her. She's like, fine,
Like,
man.
I'm out. Yeah.
I do want to say I feel bad for Fee because Fee was like, you know what? I'm gonna stream Hellblade, and I was like, yes, you are.
She did
You're
do
streaming
it.
to Discord, but then got hella motion sick, and
Oh
stopped.
yeah.
And
yeah.
that's what I felt bad about because
That does suck.
I can't imagine. Like, I mean, if I was like that, like that would just suck, dude. To
Yeah.
like want to experience something, and your body is just like, nah,
Nope.
we're
Mhm.
not doing this.
Yeah, your brain's
So-
just spinning in circles in there, just totally upside down and around. It's not. It's yeah. It is. It's not a choice. It's just that's the way her kind of that's what happens. Sucks.
Yeah. So like I said, I felt bad for her because when I heard, I was like going to tune into it and like see her reactions and then but before I even got a chance to tune in, she already like ended it and was like motion sick. And I'm like, damn, dude, that
Yeah.
sucks. So like I said, Bowser was like, oh, Fino, you'll play Fortnite with me. And I doubt it I doubt it after this. But yeah, like that was the one thing I felt bad for. Oh, hi, Bowser.
Bowser in the chat. Safe travels, Bowser.
Yeah, safe travels. By the way, don't go like 20 minutes back into the show.
Yeah, definitely don't listen to the rest of the episode.
Don't listen.
Didn't
From
get
here
weird
on
at all.
out, gold. Mwah, chef's kiss.
Sounds good.
The rest of this 50 minutes was terrible. Don't listen.
Yeah.
Just
Do you have anything else on Hellblade before we move on?
No, I mean, like I said, people crapping on it for the length, shut up. People crapping on it for it being console exclusive, shut up. You can play it on PC and Xbox. People crapping on it because it's a 6-hour game. You can play it on Game Pass. Just it's 6 hours. Is again,
I'm pretty sure it took me longer than that. But
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Let's conservatively say 7 to 8.
Exactly.
Let's say 7 to 8 hour game.
Yeah.
It's an experience. And again, if you really want to test out how good games are going to get here real soon, here's your first game that literally will kick you in the mouth at how good graphics and fidelity and audio and all of that's going to get.
Performance,
real
dude.
soon.
Performance and writing. This is
Yes.
the big thing for me. The writing and the lore, the world that everybody exists in, and the performance from someone who isn't, at least at the time of the first one, like Melina. I'm totally gonna blank on the last name or not be able to pronounce it. But the performance actor for Senua is stellar. Like that's what I really do hope we get at the Keeleys at the end of the year. Is I hope we get some recognition for the performance or performances in this game.
I'm gonna say right now, if she doesn't win, I would be pretty shocked. Now I haven't seen any other performances for the rest of the year. I can't.
Yeah, like what else would there be?
I just don't know. Like the performance of her and like the scene of that beginning scene after the boat.
Yep.
Is like, holy crap. Look, I mean, like you really look at her and like, that is so well acted, so well captured.
Yep.
And rebrought like just, yeah, I would have a very hard time believing anything gets close to that. Because again, even if you get games like say another game that may not visually be as big, maybe Assassin's Creed has some character that's awesome. But just
Assassin's Creed's coming out this year, dude. It looks so
Yes, it
good.
is.
I can't wait. I'm
There's a
ready
lot
for
of
another
games.
Assassin's Creed.
But no, I think like I said, like that game is going to win some awards for like the actual capture or the acting in the game is insane. Like
Yeah.
they just did such a good job. I also liked your names that you put on Twitter, which I can't remember right now. That was
because I don't know how to
hilarious.
pronounce, or I can't remember any of their real names.
Viking lady.
Yeah, Viking warrior lady, nice man, and master slave. Yes, those are the main characters in this game.
I loved it. I was like that. I saw that tweet. I was like, yeah, that's spot on right there. That's
Gentle,
good
nice man.
representations.
Well, that's how Ryan and I were chatting about them in the review discussion and spoiler cast. Because I'm like, I can't remember how to pronounce that. There's all these symbols in the middle of their names. Like, yeah,
I'm gonna mess this up and I'm gonna offend somebody. I should just probably Viking lady.
Look, we can talk about that, or we can just focus on, you know who I'm talking about when I say Viking warrior lady with the dead dad, you know?
You completely know. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh,
yeah, her. Okay, yeah, okay. Got it.
And that's the other thing that's different too, is like in the first game, there was not really many, like you had characters that you interacted with, you know, through cutscenes and things like that, but it was all like figments of imagination. It wasn't actually people.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing I think that when it came to the combat and stuff that threw me off is like the first combat, you're fighting people, not demons.
Yes.
And that was when those, like, some of those moments, some of those ender finisher kills where I'm like,
violent.
Oh my God. That
brutal.
was like,
totally brutal. I was talking to Ryan about that on the discussion. Yeah, the first game felt like I was fighting like scarecrow monsters. Like they're kind of like dress up, and they were demons and they're scary and everything, but like you didn't see the stabbing, you know?
Right. No, this game, yeah, like I said, when it comes to visual fidelity, they also showed you in clear detail what some of the most gruesome deaths would probably look like.
Yeah.
They're rough. Although, you know, what's crazy is like, and again, like the first game, for example, some of the bosses that you fought, I kind of appreciated something like larger than life, something crazy looking. I kind of like that part of it when it came to the bosses, where this game wasn't as much of that.
Yeah.
But again, just the combat.
But that's one thing I mean, yeah, there's different ways to, I think, interpret that. For me, the first game felt like a video game, and this felt like you were going through the narrative. Like it just seemed like with bosses, like it's something to like conquer in a way, which I guess in this game you have your giants still. But it just, I really applaud games. Even the way that this game ends still felt like as climactic as I wanted it to be, as far as the big bad at the end. I just feel like for the most part, and BioShock is my constant example that I will always go back to, where you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to give us this like ridiculous over the top enemy that shoots everything at you and brings back all the power-ups from the rest of the game. Like endings generally are so cheesy and contrived and cliche, all the rest. And I felt like this one, at the very least from a story narrative, like you felt like you just wanted to end this character. You just wanted them gone in the worst possible way. Not, oh, I've got to memorize the bullet pattern from this, and like just nonsensical boss stuff that we're used to. I want games to be courageous enough to give us something different. I feel like we've seen every boss iteration that you're ever gonna see, and especially with Elden Ring doing it better than anything else that's out there in the FromSoft games. Just go, you know, zag a little bit when everybody else is zigging over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I got you. I totally forgot what I was gonna say.
Damn, I could have kept going.
It's okay though. Yeah, just keep going. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. You want me to? I mean, I just don't want it to be cliche. No, I can't. I don't know. You good with Hellblade?
No, I'm really good with Hellblade. Again, everybody should experience it. And,
I'm gonna play it again.
Stop crapping on it, please. Yeah. I feel like that would be a game I wouldn't mind replaying. I'm not gonna say I don't want to replay it right away, because I'm not. That makes it sound like it's not worth a replay or it's not a good game or whatever. I just feel like if I'm gonna replay it, I might wait for that update that will eventually happen. The 60 FPS on console.
Yeah, check it out then.
Happen.
Yeah,
right. Because that's the same thing with like a lot of games now. When they do like a new game plus, they'll add, like Spider-Man did that, by the way. Right?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to replay Spider-Man, do new game plus, right? Or try that instantly. I'm like, give us some time. Let me play something else. And then when they do some cool update that has new game plus and this graphic update, maybe then I'll go back and check it out. But
give us a weird patch that is actually more like a mod, which is put Master Chief in the place of Senua. Just like swap out characters, and instead of the voices inside of the head, it's Cortana talking to you the whole time. Just do that. Just give us some weird character swapperoos.
One thing I want to shout out that I personally did not do, but I saw in the Digital Foundry video that was insane, was the photo mode. I do want to point out.
Get your Chivo, man. Open it up.
I accidentally did. So I got that. I accidentally did.
Like,
All of a
up
sudden,
on the D-pad or
I
whatever?
accidentally hit up on the D-pad. I'm like, achievement popped up. I'm like,
That's hilarious.
That's easy. But no, like the photo mode in the game, you can create, it's almost like a movie set where basically you can take a light source and just put it here or here or here. And you can see how the world interacts with how you're doing it. You can zoom in super close to some of these characters and see the crazy detail that are actually on the characters in real game, which is nuts. So I want to shout out that photo mode. Even though I'm not big on those, I just saw the level of detail in this one in that Digital Foundry video. And it's like, holy crap. Yeah.
Well, bring it back to that one experience thing. I almost wondered if it would be interesting to have almost like you have like collections. Like if you just open up a game and you go from like Hellblade, Senua Sacrifice, and then you kind of click over and it's the next game. I don't know why I think that would be neat, especially if a third game is coming. Like just have them almost like episodic. That these are, 6 to 7 to 10 hour episodes of Senua.
I remember what I was going to mention now. In your review, you talked about how you thought the game was going to end on a certain part.
Yeah.
I totally thought the same thing.
Yeah. Like it just seemed to, there's a, man, I don't want to,
it's like,
spoil it.
It's the way,
it's
where
the way
they interact between what happens and then what's next. It almost pans out like the end of a movie.
It felt like final. Yes.
Yeah.
But it also felt like final boss-ish.
Yeah.
Like, when things kind of just like keep ramping up and you, like I said, you haven't been in a place or a scenario like this before. I was doing things that I hadn't done before. You're dodging certain stuff. Like I'm really dodging spoilers, cool. But it's like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Like that's kind of why. And that would have been really short as it turns out, but that's just how lost in the game I was. Like, even at that point, I'm like, I have no idea how long I've been playing. Maybe it is over.
Well, the other thing too, is like, I just felt like the way they ramped it up, they very much ramped up getting to this part of the game.
Yeah.
Like an ending almost. Like they literally could have made this. Now you're right. If they ended it there, you're literally talking about halfway through the game. Like, you'd be done. And then if you want to be upset about that being only a 2 or 3 hour game, maybe. Whatever. Yeah. But it's just cool that they got to that part and you're like, man, that was a lot. Like, I'm glad that happened. And then you're like, oh, wait, this isn't done. We can keep going.
I was very curious how they would ramp it back up to that. Like, I was actually kind of worried for the game at that point because I thought that was just so intense and so gratifying on a bunch of different levels. I'm like, how do they do that again? How do they ever reach that? And for me, it didn't really happen until the very end. But for Ryan, he was flipped. Actually, for him, it was the next part that kind of got him versus the first part. So I would say check out the review discussion, the spoiler.
Yeah, for me, it was like that was a high, but I didn't think like, oh, now the game sucks again until this part. I just felt like it wasn't as bad of a drop as like you would think of like a game ending and you starting a new game. It wasn't like that.
Right.
But you are right. Like the game definitely still ramps up to eventually the end part, which is, I would say, equally as like,
oh, the ending is, I really appreciate the ending. Very satisfying. You remember why Senua was there to begin with. I think she has grown from the beginning of the first game to the end of the second game. It's just an incredible journey. So man, guys, go get a month of Game Pass if you don't have it already. Play both of these games. You're going to be done 2 of the greatest games that we have on Xbox all at once. So what are you waiting for other than watching this show?
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and do all
those please like, share, and subscribe.
Gaming. But no, and again, a weekend, 2 weekends. It's really not that big of a deal. Like I beat it, and I have a full-time job and kids and a family, and I beat it during the week. I played it like 2 hours each day for like 3 days.
That's a great way to play it. Yeah.
Literally 2 hour chunks here and there. Not that big of a deal. It was super fun, super enjoyable. Very glad I did it.
That's interesting. Like you can, when you think about the Life is Strange games and other episodic, like the Telltale games and stuff like that, there's usually like this is the end. It's not quite as clear in Hellblade as like rolling credits after 2 hours or something, but you can kind of tell where maybe you could put it down for the night and pick it up the next day. And that would be you could treat it kind of episodically, like I said, like the Telltale games and Life is Strange, stuff like that.
And they do have the chapter select in here. And like, and you're right though, because like the chapter select is there from the start, which is good because apparently it wasn't in the first game. Like it is from the start of this game, you have chapter select. And it's weird because I didn't notice. I just played it and I just felt like it was one big ride and everything.
That's what I felt.
But then when you go back into the chapters and you see like the screenshot of what each chapter is, you're like,
oh yeah.
Yep. That makes all sense.
Totally agree. Yeah, completely agree.
I didn't feel like though it was like, oh, I definitely know that this is this end part here. Just the way that, again, it's that transition of like going from one part or chapter, if you want to call that, to the next. Yeah. The way they cinematically do it is so good. And it just that is exactly why what I tried to express in the review is just how the characters who Senua interacts with kind of like bring her along on the journey. And they kind of bring her to a new location instead of her just kind of hearing a voice and going, I guess I got to beat these two bosses and then I got to collect these shards over here, which is what happened in the first game. So it just seemed like it flowed. But you're right. Like as you're going through it, you don't really know. There isn't like all I'm saying is that there are definitely, you realize there's a pattern at a certain point in the game that you're going to be conquering. I mean, I'm dancing around a stupid spoiler, which is not even a spoiler. They basically showed you an entire sequence at the Game Awards or Summer Game Fest or wherever it was. Like you're conquering these giants, so that's what I'm trying to say is like, once you kind of get to that point, you could probably beat the first giant and then take a break and then start up the next one. And it kind of rolls on from there. So I also appreciate the game example. And this is just like one small gripe I had about the other one. I felt like you were moving too slow. Like even running in the game, I felt like if you're trying to sort out those puzzles and everything and sort out the puzzles. But like, for example, I appreciate them getting you to an awesome part of the game and kind of doing a small cutscene instead of you walking an hour slow, backtracking through something. They're just like, let's just get you to the next awesome spot real quick. And that way you can do that.
I liked it. Yeah.
Also, one thing we didn't touch on, which you just said, puzzles. Yeah. They were not as terrible this time at all. Like, here's what I mean by terrible. I got hard stuck on a puzzle to where I felt real dumb in the first one. Because I just wasn't fully aware of how deep the puzzles can go. Once I saw the mistake that I made and I got, I was streaming it and chat pointed it out. I was like, oh, we're getting that deep to where I need to pay attention like that. Yeah. Got it. So then when that clicked, I didn't get stuck on any other puzzles. This one, I didn't get stuck on any puzzles like that. Yeah. The puzzles were still good. They were still meaningful. There's different ways to interact with the world to change perspectives, which was really cool. There were different types of puzzles as well, which I appreciate instead of just here's a symbol, find it. Yeah. There was, here's this, you're making this change to change the environment here to do this. Like they did a solid job of that. And again, I don't feel the puzzles were in the way, obnoxious, too hard, too easy. Agreed. I felt they were really well made and didn't break up the gameplay or didn't like make me go, this part sucks. I feel like the pace of the game stopped. No, they did a solid job with it. Also, too, though, I went straight from 1 to 2, right? Like my brain was already there to kind of look for those things. Yeah. I can imagine if somebody took a break from Hellblade, they might have a problem maybe with a certain thing or two. But at the same time, that's why we recommend experiencing both together because your brain's already there. Just do them together. Your brain's already going to be there from 1 going straight to 2. You'll appreciate all the upgrades they've done. You'll appreciate all the enhancements to the visuals, the combat, the audio, the puzzles. Just play both together.
Unless you're Fee, then
unless you're Fee, and then you don't like any of it because your body hates you and doesn't want you to play it.
That sucks.
It does suck, but it's okay.
Mitch, did you know Call of Duty Black Ops has 6 Black Ops?
I did know that. It's a crazy
I saw that announcement. I'm like, there are 5 other ones already. What the hell?
Yeah.
5.
So what's weird is it's weird that they say 6 because 1 through 4 was Black Ops 1 through 4.
Right. And then Cold War.
Then Cold War, which didn't have a number at all. And then we're just going to go back to numbers. Yep. Got it. Cool.
Like Mario Kart 7 and 8. They weren't counting them until then.
That's very true.
They're like, oh, snap, there's 7 of these things?
Listen, guys, this Xbot knows what he's talking about when it comes to Nintendo's games. That's crazy. I know. No, I just...
Kind of like Windows 2, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Now we're on 11.
Oh no.
Fees in the chat. I drop in to say hi and I get dissed. Look, we're just saying. No, it's not diss at all. We're just saying.
It's not diss.
It's like we're empathetic.
Very
Sympathetic?
empathetic. Both.
I don't know. Both. We're both empathetic. We're not apathetic.
No.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, we don't want to be that.
Mm-mm. No, we were just talking about how we felt bad that you couldn't play those games because you were getting sick because your body doesn't like motion. That
well,
sucks.
Speaking of games that Steve probably can't play.
Black Ops 6, yeah, exactly.
Black Ops 6. This is the one, man. Like, this is the one I feel like we can count on still. Like, Black Ops is the one that gets it right. Maybe. I didn't even like Cold War all that much. Sorry for fans of that game.
The only thing I didn't like about Cold War is that it ruined Warzone, in my opinion. That's the only thing.
The multi, yeah.
No. So Cold War, like, okay. Me personally, when they started showing newer games, when Modern Warfare happened, I was like, I don't want any more World War II or Vietnam games.
Really? You're done? Forever?
There were so many of them in the PS2 era, dude. There were so
that was
many
3 PlayStations ago.
I understand that. But then when they got to modern, I'm like, okay, cool. Now we're going modern. And then they started somewhat going into the future with like advanced warfare and stuff. And then they were like, cool, we're going to go to World War II. And I'm like, we're going to go from awesome guns to these crappy guns?
Oh, okay. I liked World War II, like WW2. I thought that game was really good. I never played Vanguard. I'm trying to remember if there's any other
You're fine. Don't worry about it.
That's what I've heard.
You're fine. Don't worry about it. No, like for me though, and again, I personally, because BRs have taken over everything of mine instead of just standard multiplayer.
Yeah.
It ruined, because we went from Warzone, which was Modern Warfare remake. In my opinion, was awesome. Like they did such a good job with the remake. The guns felt good. Everything was cool. And then they were like, here's Cold War and here's guns from the 80s and 70s. And you're just like, and the problem was they were mixing all of it together in Warzone. So you had old guns that they overpowered to compensate for the new guns having faster shooting and stuff. It was just weird. I didn't necessarily like how they did it. But that's the only reason why I didn't like Cold War as much. As far as the game goes, Cold War wasn't terrible. Yeah. I just didn't like how they forced everything into Warzone, which is the same thing that happened with Vanguard. All these Vanguard guns started showing up in Warzone and you had to make them good because they couldn't. Yeah, it sucked. It wasn't fun. So that's why, like, for me, when they start going backwards and when we have all these new guns and this newer tech and then they start going backwards, I think it's weird.
So when is Blop 6? Do we know anything or just is it Gulf War? Really?
That's been the rumor for all of it. Yeah. So I'm excited. The one thing that I read somewhere, and I cannot remember where exactly, this is the first COD that's had a 4-year development cycle in a very long time.
Let's go. That actually gets me pumped up to hear.
It does, because most of these games are kind of not, I won't say churn and burn. They have 3 different studios working on these things, but this is the first one because this same studio is the same one that actually did Cold War. So like, this is that studio from 2020 that's now going to be making, like, you know what I mean, this game for Black Ops 6. And I'm excited. It's Call of Duty, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and again, everybody's like, it's a bro shooter. Call of Duty's fun, man. The shooting in it's really good. The sniping in it is insane. The trailer that they did for it, the little teaser trailer, good job. Good job. I liked it.
It's just weird.
You gotta make sure you're over the age of 18, buddy. You can't be seeing a trailer that has no violence in it. How dare you? But yeah, like the trailer for it is very
I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble for watching this, but here we are.
Maybe no, we're fine. You're not playing audio. You're good.
Yeah, no audio.
There's licensed music in there.
There's nothing. This is a like fake body cam stuff.
Yeah, it's like a body cam thing, and then they get to the Mount Rushmore where they defaced it. So, also apparently, they did a viral marketing stuff with the USA Today newspaper, where on the front that is the picture. It says Mount Rushmore defaced on USA Today's
I love
picture.
it. I love it. I love it.
And on the back, it has an ad for Black Ops 6. I'm like, that's good.
Like, that's kind of, I mean, when people talk about there was nothing for Hellblade, I guess that's kind of what you mean, you know, because like Call of Duty's a $1 trillion industry in and of itself.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, also too, though, I mean, that's Activision marketing. That's
totally.
That's Activision marketing.
But that's what Halo, I feel like, has been missing. Like, all jokes aside, Hellblade doesn't get this kind of thing, but Halo and Forza and Starfield, like, it's in the realm. I know Call of Duty, it's like its own economy, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Real, yeah. Tony Baker in the chat says that Dev from Treyarch said they've been playtesting for 2 years. Yeah, this is the game that they've put the most time in as far as the development cycle in Call of Duty in a while. So I am very excited to see that. Also very excited that apparently it's very heavily confirmed that it is going to be part of Game Pass.
I feel like it has to be after all this time. It's a Game Pass. This will be a game changer.
I've seen so many things like it'll be on Game Pass, but they're going to make a new level of Game Pass that's more expensive. There's all these rumors out there, but I think it was Wall Street or Forbes or something confirmed that like it absolutely will be on Game Pass this year. I have a prediction that I will save
it for next week.
Week's. Yeah, I'll save it for next week. But I do think, like I said, that it is like, especially for me, like I am not one to buy the actual games themselves.
Yeah. You're just playing Warzone.
I'm just playing Warzone. The thing that sucks about Warzone is what they do is all the new guns come out with the new game. They get put in Warzone. And in order to level them up, you can do two different things. You can either A, play the hell out of that gun in Warzone and take forever to get it leveled up. Or you go buy Black Ops 6, level up the gun in multiplayer where they have like shipment on a playlist that you can just grind guns and get your grinding guns sooner.
Yeah.
I personally hate that because
that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I love the multiplayer.
No. I like the multiplayer. What I don't like is that unfortunately the way that Warzone is played, if you do not have a certain gun leveled up to a certain level, you are at a disadvantage.
Well,
unfortunately. But that's what they do.
Get on that team deathmatch, Mitch.
Exactly. So the thing is for me, with Modern Warfare 3, because I bought Modern Warfare 2, and I never played the multiplayer. I never did. I played a little bit of it.
I live for it, man. I think that's great.
I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't like the practice of how they make you level up the guns and how they really, really, really entice you to buy that multiplayer.
Yep.
And
good.
Me and my friends stood strong on Modern Warfare 3. We're like, nay, we are not.
That was
buying
probably
this
a good
game.
one to do that. I mean, I don't know if that game was.
Yeah, I don't know if that game was that great, but I mean, the problem
is,
it's like I said, we grinded guns in Warzone, begrudgingly sometimes. But like I said, the fact that this will be on Game Pass,
there you go.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I'll just grind the guns that way.
Stop complaining about it.
Exactly, because you put it on Game
and
Pass.
also play the campaign, dude.
I was about to say the campaigns are awesome. They really are.
For Black Ops, they're really not the last one, but I hope they kind of get back to. I didn't love the last one.
The Cold War campaign.
Anything that has any sort of like chalkboard, blackboard, pushpin board, anything. Alan Wake and Call of Duty Cold War. Like, what is with this, man? I don't need no evidence and pushpins and whatnot.
I like the mind altering stuff like that they did with Black Ops Cold War. That was a campaign I did play and beat.
I need to go back to it.
I didn't
give it another
mind
chance.
I thought it was cool. Like I said, that was one thing for me with Call of Duty for a while there is even when it didn't have Warzone, I remember playing Advanced Warfare's campaign.
Yeah.
And that's all I did. I bought it, beat the campaign, traded it in because I was already like, I just want to play Apex or Fortnite or Battle Royales. I was kind of, and then Black Ops 4 came out. I didn't really like it that much, but Warzone's good, dude. It really is good. It's real fun. Sometimes it sucks, but sometimes it's good. But this one, I'm looking forward to. All the marketing, like I said, looks awesome so far.
Dude, I just about blurted out like 3 predictions.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that when I listen back to this, I'll remember what these predictions. I gotta have a prediction.
Write them down. Yeah, we gotta get our doc.
It's kind of cliche though. Like it's not even like it's not mind blowing or anything. But I could probably just ruin all of our predictions for next week.
I mean, should we talk about the one prediction that's already been heavily rumored, like right now, the one we were talking about before stream?
Oh, Doom.
Yeah.
Might
as well.
Give us Doom.
New Doom game rumored to be.
Yeah, Toxic was in the Discord. I can't remember what channel this was in. Was it in the Xbox Drive or PlayStation Drive maybe? Because it'll be probably everywhere. Doom, what was it called? The last something?
Something.
Where'd it go? Look how active this Discord is, man. I can't even find it.
Yeah, there's
what
a
the
lot
heck
going on here.
I love it.
Scroll.
The Dark Ages.
Yes.
Medieval themes. What though? Okay, holy. I don't know if I want that. What the heck?
I mean, it could be kind of cool because, like I said, there already are some weird vibes when it comes to Doom, especially Doom Eternal. Like, I'm sorry, more Doom is never going to be a bad thing. Doom is
Agreed.
awesome. It's Doom 1 is like Doom 1 was awesome. Like that reboot was definitely needed. Doom the Dark Ages with medieval themes, and it's coming to both Xbox and PlayStation. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that Xbox PlayStation. It could be eventually, but there's no shot it's not going to come to Xbox first. Also, by the way, I really do think we're just quickly touch on this Xbox PlayStation stuff. Hellblade 2 will more than likely come to PlayStation at one point in time or another. I think it'll be a 6-month or year timed exclusive type of deal, but there's no reason Hellblade doesn't go to.
And who cares?
But yeah, that part of the rumor though is weird. I didn't see that part where it was going to PlayStation. I didn't see that, but like, dude, Doom is awesome. That reboot was so good, fast paced, action, just violent. Music is phenomenal. That music will make you run through a brick wall, dude.
I run to that music. I literally do.
Yeah,
I do run to that music. How does anybody read any websites anymore? This is incomprehensible with these ads and these video. Like, what am I supposed to do with all of this? What the heck? I apologize if anybody considers this a spoiler. I actually, like, truth be told, kind of wish I didn't know this was coming before the showcase. I would have been pretty pumped, but I'll still wait to see what it actually looks like. Like, there's no gameplay here. I'll still be excited to see and to hear. Now, the music, you do mention that. What's his name?
I don't know the composer's name, but
Mick Gordon. Mick Gordon is not coming. He's not doing this one. That's a bummer.
That, if you want to look that up on the internet, that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Dude.
It is a damn shame.
Bad situation. But here's the thing. If anybody is like upset that this was spoiled, shut up. Everybody knew Doom was coming. No, I'm just saying, like, everybody's like, oh my God. What do you mean Doom is coming? Yeah, of course it is. Because 1 and 2 were awesome and they were going to happen eventually.
Well, it looks like this is being done by id Software, and a big question mark that I've had for them is, like, do they go over to Quake? Do they do something else? Like, one thing that I'm really looking for now with id Software being part of the Microsoft family, like, back in the day, the Quake engine powered so many games. And of course, we just lauded Hellblade 2 for its visual fidelity, and it's powered by the Unreal Engine. But, like, for a long time, it was like the Quake engine and the Unreal Engine kind of like battling it out. And this is only for like real, tech dorks out there. But I used to follow that, like, Blu-ray versus HD DVD, like VHS versus Betamax. I used to watch that very closely, and there really isn't anything like that anymore. And id Software could have been the ones to do it, but it also could have been a John Carmack thing, and maybe the people aren't there anymore to do it.
There still are talks of, like, PlayStation uses the same, like, Horizon engine for, like, everything now.
Is Decima engine,
something like that.
I'm just an Xbot, so what would I know?
Exactly. EA tries to use Frostbite for everything.
Yeah, and that's obviously
which is the Battlefield one, which is weird.
Yeah,
it's just weird. You use Frostbite in Madden.
Dude, they had to use it for Dragon Age Inquisition, and it didn't even have a save system. It didn't even have like a skill trees. Like they were missing key components that made it difficult to actually make that game. Yeah,
I just think, like I said, I don't think there's any proprietary engine when it comes to what they did with Hellblade. That's just Unreal 5, right?
That's Unreal 5. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And just, I mean, if you just build onto that and everything, like, I mean, there are other games that are definitely using Unreal 5 right now that we know are happening. But I mean, Call of Duty.
Apparently Fortnite is.
Yeah, dude, Fortnite, those upgrades they showed for Fortnite on that Unreal 5 engine, I was actually
pretty crazy.
Holy crap, this game was great.
Well, and that's just it. But like some, you can make a proprietary engine, but I don't even know if, like, when I think about Quake, like, I don't think of it as a proprietary engine. Like, I think about it very similar to the Unreal Engine. That's how it was kind of brought up. It was very designer friendly. Anybody could make a game in these things, and just very, very fast, very, very fluid gameplay. And I don't know why. I just want I feel like I would really like Xbox to have that in their corner, like the core engine that powers so many of their games, because there's this obsession with, like, you look at the obsession that's happened with Unreal Engine, and it makes great looking games, and games are built really well on it. Wouldn't that be good to have? in
Yeah.
Xbox land. I feel like that would be all right. You just don't do it like Frostbite. That's not what I'm saying. But it's
You don't.
possible to do this in a way that powers the industry and drives it forward. You're Microsoft, for God's sakes.
You don't think that's happening with Gears of War 6 right now?
But with Unreal Engine.
It could have been a modified version of Unreal though.
Which is I'm not slamming.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not coming across right. Like I'm not slamming Unreal Engine. I love Unreal Engine. I think it is amazing.
But you want Microsoft to have that like kind of like technological staple across all their games. That's like this is.
I think video games are more interesting when you have two like bleeding edge engines for different reasons. Like I think, there's probably a case to be made. Like how are Call of Duty games made? Why aren't more shooter games? What is it?
Infinity Ward has their own IW engine, is what they call it. It's Infinity Ward's engine. Like it's the same. But the problem is sometimes those engines don't get updated like they should. Because some game, like for example, I don't know if you've seen Call of Duty. When you die in that game, it's been the same animation for a long time.
You can't have the same developer be making games on a 2 or 3 year cycle and also be responsible for updating, maintaining, and creating the engine. Like that's not really
what happened to Battlefield, and then that game sucked.
Yeah, but that's kind of, there are a lot of examples on how not to do it. Unreal is an example of how to do it. I just wonder, are they so far ahead that there's no going back? There's no way to have another engine kind of like push it a little bit.
Like it's not like it's so far advanced that it's like not worth putting the time and money in to try to compete with it.
I guess. Or even that, like, are there even people who even want to do that? Like Unreal has continued to iterate since like the Tim Sweeney days, which I'm sure he still has a lot to do with that anyways. But the original Epic Mega Games guys just obsessing about this engine. Meanwhile, everybody over like John Carmack and John Romero and everybody over at id doing the Quake engine or the Doom and then Quake engines. Yeah, I'm just like reminiscing about the good old days at this point. But I'd love for there to be a competing engine. This is the dorkiest thing I think I've maybe ever said on the show. But like, I want another game engine, man, to compete for Unreal. That would be great. I think that would be good for games.
The good thing is you got the guy on here who wants to talk about tech, and the other two co-hosts who would be like,
"Hey man, imagine this show with it." Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just letting our full freak
tech
flag
nerd.
fly,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
We're just here.
No, like I said, I mean, when
so
I heard
it's doing Doom is basically what I was getting at.
Yeah.
and not anything else.
I don't mind like them doing what they like. Have your main studio do your main franchise.
Yeah.
But then have a like little subsection of dudes over here in these cubicles that are working on something completely different. And I mean, honestly, like you could make a Quake game. You could. And I'm sure like Phil already talked about how there's tons of franchises that he wants to try to bring back. That was more or less on the Activision thing, right? That was more or less on the Activision acquisition. He's like, there's a bunch of franchises I want to, bring back. Bring back Tony Hawk, please. That was really fun. But
save the predictions, man. We're getting a showcase so soon. That's the man.
2
what
weeks.
timing? You always. I hate that the narrative on the internet can taint games so much for us because we're about to get a showcase. In my mind, Hellblade is a really strong game. We could get a showcase that promises us X, Y, and Z. Avowed is still coming. Indiana Jones still coming. Got a bunch of stuff to look forward to. We got apparently Doom, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. Like, man, all of a sudden you got to use up your full breath to talk about all the games that are coming into Game Pass. And that's a good thing, man. That's exciting for us.
Absolutely. I like I said, the only thing I just hope, and this is always my hope, is I want you to show me games and say they're coming out in 6 months. That would make
no
the
doubt
whole damn day. Because the way they
give me Fallout 3
or Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm. Do it with
the way
Fallout.
They did Fallout 4, like here's everything about Fallout 4, and you're playing it in 5 months.
Yeah, man.
You're all gonna freak
Give it
out.
to me.
Like I said, I just appreciate games. So like I said, when they talked about a new Doom, I hope. I don't want to say that's a 2024 game. I doubt it is. It's probably early 25, if anything. But again, like, because already 24 is stacked. Like at the end of the year, and there's already stuff that's like not announced from third parties. Like obviously Assassin's Creed got announced, which that looks awesome. I don't want to tell you to go play Ghost of Tsushima, but I'm gonna because the game.
Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Because I'm an Xbot and I talk about the Xbox Drive on the.
This is our unofficial PC.
Exactly.
Podcast.
By the way, Ghost of Tsushima came out on PC. It has ultra wide.
That's why
support.
I thought you brought it up. Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw my buddy who my buddy Buzz, who I tell him
Buzz.
all the time, please go play Ghost of Tsushima. It's
I
literally
haven't
one of the
played
best
it.
places. It's phenomenal. It is. It jumped Horizon as my second favorite franchise, PlayStation franchise. Spider-Man's number one for me.
Yeah, Spidey's pretty good.
I love Spider-Man.
I
But
gotta
no,
finish
Ghost
that.
of Tsushima, literally, I played it. Like, I should play this because I've heard good things. And I loved it. I
Nice.
loved it. That game is phenomenal. Anyways, when I saw the gameplay of the Assassin's Creed, what they were showing, my buddy Buzz was like, man, that game looks awesome. I'm like, you can play that right now, kind of, with Ghost of Tsushima. You really could.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's the same game
Yeah.
because there are some differences. But like when I saw some of the combat, I'm like, do you not realize that you have a game that really is as good as this with the samurai stuff, and it's awesome, and it's called Ghost of Tsushima, and go play it, please. But yeah, PC version of that came out recently. So again, unofficial PC podcast. Go play Ghost of Tsushima if you haven't, because that game is phenomenal, and it took me by surprise at how much I liked it. Like,
Oh,
again, I knew it was a good game. I never heard people say this game is bad, right?
yeah.
But when
Yeah.
my like whole thing with PlayStation franchises, I was like, Spider-Man's number one. And honestly, God of War or Horizon were kind of flip-flop for me. Just because
I love God of War 2018.
God of War 2018 is really good. I'm also a big sci-fi dude. And Horizon had like a crazy storyline and a crazy concept, and it was all science,
The first one.
fiction-ish.
Love the first one.
Love the
And
first
second
one.
one.
The second one,
I'm the same. Yeah.
it was.
Here
I
am.
beat
I
it
feel
and
like I need to throw all the love at as many PlayStation properties as I can to be able to
justify it on
say
that next spot.
I
Yeah.
don't love the second Horizon game, but the first one, dude, the first one is amazing.
The second one was all right. After I beat it, I definitely was like, I have zero interest in playing this more. Like
Same.
after I beat the
Totally
story, I was
same.
like, this is just so big. There's so much I haven't done. I'm good.
Yeah,
I
I have
played
no
Ghost of
interest on
Tsushima.
where that story is going, dude. It's just like that's
It's weird.
Oh, it's weird.
But again, the first story was like very sci-fi. So that's why
Yes.
I was like, it's so close with God of War for me because again, like the Greek mythology and stuff,
Yep.
I'm more of a sci-fi nerd than I am a mythology nerd. So I was like, and then Ghost of Tsushima showed up and literally kicked both of them out of the way. And I'm not even big into samurai stuff. It's just so everything about it, the story, the characters, the combat, after that game was beat, I couldn't stop playing it. I was like, no, I just want 100% this thing.
Nice.
And yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is phenomenal. But when I saw Assassin's Creed, I was like,
it's coming.
if it's like Ghost of Tsushima, I'll play it.
Yeah.
Because that game's awesome.
Well,
but yeah,
it's an Assassin's Creed game. We probably
it's an
know what to
Assassin's Creed
expect.
game. Yeah.
Probably know what to
Here's what I'll say
expect.
though. Make it the length of the most recent Assassin's Creed,
No.
not Odyssey, where it's 90 hours.
Oh yeah. I forgot about Mirage.
Please.
Oh, I could play Mirage before, dude. Oh, there's too many games. What am I supposed
Yeah.
to do? What am? Okay, like.
I don't know, Sean. No, but real talk. Don't make it. Yeah, exactly. Don't make Assassin's Creed games 80 hours anymore, please.
This is going to be a gigantic.
I
game,
don't know.
think.
Honestly, I think it'll be a tighter story, but not. Dude, the main story of Odyssey's like 70 hours.
That's
It's
the funny thing. That's what
obnoxious.
I'm giggling at over here is because I'm thinking, please make it the size of Odyssey and not Valhalla, right? Like because that's
Valhalla
how
was
outrageous
nasty.
things have gotten here because Valhalla was so long, it was so huge that somehow we've gotten to the point where Odyssey would be considered manageable by comparison.
So like I'm on howlongtobeat.com. By the way, fantastic website if you want to know.
Built
fantastic
into the
website.
Xbox app, by the way, on PC.
Built into the Xbox app, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
pretty cool.
Origins was 30 hours. Odyssey was 45 and a half. By the way, this is main story.
Main
This
story
is not
only.
completionist, right? Valhalla, it's probably so big I couldn't even find it on this list. Oh my God, there's a lot of
75
games. Hold on.
75 hours at least.
61 hours.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Main
for
story,
main story.
61. Main story plus extra, which is like some side stuff, 97 and a half completionist, 146 hours. Could you stop? Like, I don't need it to be that long.
This
It's
one's
so
gonna be big.
But then Mirage, 15 and a half hours.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
That's what I'm saying. I think it will be 20, 25 maybe.
Oh, I don't think so. I think you're
I don't
dreaming.
think you go full tilt. I don't think you don't go back to Valhalla. That was
This is a fun game. We should just like look at the next set of new releases and just guess
how long
how long
they're
to
gonna be.
beat
Yeah. By the way, those Doom games, perfect time before they start getting old and start to get boring. They are.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing that at the Xbox Showcase next week. Hopefully, we'll have our full crew here because we're going to be logging our predictions, which is going to be a great time because we'll get a couple leaks between now and then, get that out of our system. And guys, stay tuned. Discord is probably the best place, if not Twitter, if not maybe some threads, Instagram, et cetera. But we're going to have Summer Game Fest and a whole bunch of stuff coming here at Carpool Gaming. Probably Twitch and YouTube, but we'll have more details for you guys coming soon. But we've got a gigantic crew here. Everybody's really excited to watch these streams. I will be on as many as I possibly can. But we got rumors of a PlayStation show coming up. Summer Game Fest is coming on the 7th of June. I will be streaming that alongside a few others. The Wholesome Direct we're going to be streaming. I think Fulia and me are going to be doing that. I'm just trying to pull up our table here. Wholesome Direct reactions, me, Fulia, and Ryan. Got a PC gaming show where I think Ryan and I are going to be streaming that sucker. Got the Xbox show, of course. We'll have the whole crew doing that and just so mumuch more. I love this time of year. I don't care if we call it E3 or B3 or Jeff Keighley 3. Who cares? Now, Sean Capri 3. We're going to do the thing. And it's Christmas time for video games. It's coming up. We're on the eve of it. Mitch Power.
It's so crazy. And yeah, like I said, the other thing I'm happy about too, I'll actually be in town.
Yeah.
Because like so often, Sean will be like, hey, dude, do you want to do an Xbox prediction show? I'm like, hey, dude, I'm out of town. Yeah, I'm at Disney. 2 years ago, I was at Disneyland. To the day, I swear to God. So like, yeah, I'm on trips. I'm always doing this. But this year, the only thing that's weird, I have family in town. It's the Sunday after my son's graduation party, but they can, piss off for a couple hours while I do this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Hey, family, I'll see you later.
Priorities.
Give me 3 hours with my podcast, please. Thank you.
I'm excited for what Adam David in the chat calls RIP3, which that's pretty great. Adam David, just a rock star in the chat this week at Carpool Gaming, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming. Mitch Power, do you have any closing thoughts before we shut the show down? We thank our patrons. We tell people where we can find each other on the internet and such.
Be nice in YouTube comments, guys. Don't be a dick. Like, there's no reason to.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Like, it's just, there's no reason to. Like I said, if you have opinions on something, you can be constructive about it. You don't have to be mean on the internet. Sean's video was a great video. He did a great job of breaking down the gameplay, of explaining the video or the game. He did a great job on it. And
thanks, man.
People were not very kind to him, which is shocking. Okay. People on the internet not being kind. But
I felt like they weren't being kind to the game. I didn't care what they said about me. I knew that they just have stuff going on in their life, they're just not doing so great.
Their life sucks. Yeah, they probably have a Nintendo Switch. Anyways.
Damn,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Mitch Power, where can people find you on the internet if they were looking around?
YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, not Mixer anymore. And Mitch Power 1116. I just put on my YouTube a full playthrough of Hellblade 2 in 4K. It's also in 4K on YouTube. If you guys want to go watch that, go do that. Also, Saturday streams for me. I'll be starting to do some more community games soon. Tomorrow I have Among Us, which it's funny because I haven't played Among Us since COVID, like lockdown and stuff like that. But when you have a full crew of friends playing Among Us, it's entirely better than just playing with a bunch of random people.
There's no doubt.
I got people that are going to be playing that tomorrow, but every Saturday from here on out, I'm going to do community games, whether it's Among Us, Fall Guys, Halo, Apex Customs, all those things. So if you want to hang out and play some games together with a bunch of cool people, come do it on twitch.tv/MitchPower1116.
Very cool. As for me, you can find me on Twitter, and my gamer tag is also the same. Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Please go to carpoolgaming.com, buy your Xbox Drive merch, support us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Just like damn near 100 people over there. What are you giggling about over there, Mitch?
Oh, the fact that I bought Xbox Drive merch last week at full price by accident.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to get a discount as a.
I was supposed to get a discount. I hit too many buttons, and I'm like, oh, I guess I just paid full price for it. Good job, Sean.
All right, be like Mitch. Buy your merch at full price. Go to carpoolgaming.com. Get your merch for all the shows. We got more stuff coming for you guys over there. So we're getting ramped up. We got a full team over here. New shows in 2024. Very, very cool. But thank you to everybody who supports us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. If you like this, if you're still here, still listening, go to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Just like our ultimate producers, I want to say thank you. So I will say thank you to Jonathan Brown, who does the music on this show, and also the PlayStation Drive. Go listen to his music, linktree/pme.jib. You can listen on Apple Music and Spotify, etc. Do it just like I do. Cwagmire, who wants to remind you that the best babes are Xenobabes. Our platinum producers, Robby Bobby Millard, Tim Paullin, and Smokin Joe. And our gold members, Toxic, Tim Aulph, Tech Mike, Jane Erickson, Samuel Nessling, who loves Ron from the PlayStation Drive, Peje EP, Patrice Mallette, Yon32, Hoppel, Emily O'Kelly, Dannohh, Dan and Luma, CrocoKyle, CowboyDangerD. By the way, CrocoKyle, I've got your question for next week. We're going to save your question about the games, our favorite games, and the letters that we're swapping around.
Oh my God, we forgot.
Don't worry about it.
That.
Didn't forget about it. We just went long on a couple other things, and I think it would be great for Bowser and Fiona to
actually, yeah,
answer that question too. So we got you.
Great save. Great save.
That was a purposeful, conscious thought process. Everybody underestimates me, but not CowboyDangerD, not Cecily Carrozza. Thank you to you both, and thank you, Brian, Reese, Bradmore, BobLoblaw, Awesome Dave, Anna, and Adam K. Thank you guys so much for supporting us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. That is the end of episode of the Xbox Drive 341, starring Mitch and me and not Bowser and Fee. We'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye-bye. I gotta find the button. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Xbox Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget that we've got some awesome Xbox Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming for exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description. We'll see you next week.